Welcome back, guys, to Overture 1. And you already see the title of today's video. Don't go full-time trading until you
like, comment, and subscribe to the Overture 1 YouTube channel.
Exactly.
End
there
of
we
the
go.
video.
That simple, that much value. But getting right into it, guys, you know, this is kind of like a big topic no one really talks about. And I know we say that in a couple of our videos, but at the end of the day, we're here to shed light into the trading realm and like really what it takes to succeed and have success over time, which is really the most important part, and have consistency in the trading realm.
100%. And the first thing that I want to say is what my mentor, everybody throws around the term mentor like a lot, and it's like we've all learned from a plethora of people, but the one person who I really truly consider like my mentor throughout the entire process of getting me to actually where I wanted to go, what I learned from him was that you shouldn't go full-time trading until you have a year's worth of expenses saved plus an additional $50,000 on top of it. And that was what was said to me. We don't necessarily be like, hey, look, like we condone that 100%. What I'm going to highly stress though, and that Rob and I both agree on, is that you should have at least a year's worth of expenses saved before you make trading a full-time thing that you do.
And I want to elaborate a little bit more into that. And what is a year's worth of expenses to you?
Yeah.
And here's a couple of things that you could do to actually know. And it's very simple. Number one is track your finances. You know, track your years full of finances, like from January all the way to, from January all the way to December of that 1 year, and be like, what is my baseline for what I spend? Right. You know, how much money am I making now? What is something that stays consistent?
What do I need to live off of?
Exactly. What stays consistent? How much is rent? You know, how much are my groceries? How much is Miami parking if I visit here a lot? Literally, parking, you literally pay for parking everywhere here downtown.
Yeah.
But all the bare necessities, the extra luxuries and everything, that's after the fact. But like, what do you need to live? Like, what is rent? What is gas? What is your sun pass that you're paying? All those type of things. And you know what that really relates to? Journaling.
Yeah.
All you're doing is journaling. This is another form. You're like, okay, I spent here. How much money did I make this month according to what I spent? What's your risk to reward factor in here? Super simple. And you got to get all those habits. Since you're like a day trader, or you want to become a full-time trader, you're going to have to become aware of your full-time expenses.
Right. Very
much simple as that. How are you going to be able to know how much money to save for a year's worth of expenses, and maybe additional more to invest to have nest egg, so you're not like not scared or anxious to know where the money's going to come in the next month?
Yeah.
How are you going to do it? Track your finances and know how much money to put away. Right. And at the end of the day, very simple. Like, this trading career, it's going to take time. For sure. And it's going to be a battle that you're going to have to fight, because this is not like any other business. This is not, you know, straight up open up mom and pop supplement store and everything, and then be working at every day, you know, a mom and pop coffee shop. This is something that you're like directly looking at numbers on a screen and dealing with the psychological things going on in your head and following a plan day in and day out.
Right.
And I want to talk about one of my real life examples, so you guys could actually like relate, because I don't speak something that I did not live. Right. The first time that, you know, I was in a company and everybody was like very hyped on emotion and everything thus far, and I learned how to trade in that company, I wasn't very grateful for it. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of people that surrounded me, and they were like, hey, let's go all in, get you very emotional. And the last thing you want to do in trading is be emotional. And I made a very first call to be very emotional and to quit my job. And to quit a well-paying job, matter of fact, too. And this was like, I already did have my money saved. I was like, I'm good. If anything happens, we're good. We got some time. I'm going to go in on this other business, and trading is going to supplement that also as well. So guess what happened? I put majority of those life savings, because if I thought I'd go all in, I made bread. And I lost it within like a 3 to 6 month span. Yeah. So, you know, I definitely got burned pretty hard there, that where I had to start working other jobs that I did not like and everything. And through the grace of God, I actually got my old job back at Lexus, you know, and even more pay. Thankful to the grace of God. So I was able to do a restart on it. I was able to, rage quit and start a new game, but with the experience of the past game.
Right.
So I literally, I went back, I started making more money, and then I had a new perspective. I was still trading at the time, going through funding challenges and everything, and I did fail a couple and I did restart a couple. But I was learning through that whole process and I was grateful for it. But I also was saving money on the side and also investing in other things like crypto and everything, and I was getting pretty good returns and being very aware of that. So I was not even saving, I was still investing, but I knew what I was investing in. Yeah. So, I was able to, put up a good nest egg of expenses and additional money on the side also as well. So I did very much what Jared's mentor said. I did that. I just didn't have a bigger capacity of money than I would want to, but it felt right at the time, and I know I had about a year's expenses put away. So I was like, let me do this. We're gonna do this. I don't need to. And honestly, I went in and I got funded and everything thus far, and I realized how getting funded is not rainbow land right after. You have to, we'll talk about this more, but you have to maintain it. You have to cushion your account. You have to have reserves. I wasn't really that scared either because I also did have nest eggs. But it's not all sunshines and rainbows. You have to maintain it. Sometimes you have break-even months. Sometimes you have negative months. Sometimes you have pretty good months. But in trading, trading's not a consistent where the dollar figure is always consistent. Yeah. It always fluctuates around there.
I feel like most people when they talk about getting funded, they kind of have that same shiny object approach. Yeah. When they tell you about trading in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
very
it's
true.
It's here's the land of Oz, right?
Yeah. Here's Candyland.
So, and yeah, dude, I appreciate obviously your honesty, with your testimony and everything, and I really believe that there's a validity that comes to hey, look, we're putting out information, but then we're also standing behind what we're saying by saying, hey, look, we actually truly live this, yeah. And that's why we have credibility and we hold weight to influence you or to suggest that you should do something, right? And in my life personally, my trading journey started, it piqued my interest in 2017, but I really got into it more in 2018. And my first experience with trading, I actually, I injured myself playing football. I had a tear in my hamstring and I couldn't walk. I couldn't do what I was normally doing and get around. So naturally I was looking for ways to grow, mm-hmm. and how to supplement my income online, right? And we actually met through the same company. I found this company and it was actually through this very strange sequence of events. But anyway, I got plugged in with somebody who wasn't actually making money trading, but said, hey, look, yo, I make a couple $1,000s a week. You don't have to work, you can do this, mm-hmm. right? So that was actually my first, I guess, interest peak, yeah. into trading. And I told my old job, yo, look, I'm not gonna do disability, I'm not gonna do nothing because I'm hurt, I'm just gonna quit, right? And I'm just gonna walk away and I'm gonna do this full time because I was under the impression I can just quit and I can make 6 figures a year.
Yeah,
you know what
it's
I mean?
that simple.
And like what you were saying, I was doing pretty well at the job that I had. It was actually door-to-door sales, and I was also in real estate as a realtor. And I have some crazy stories. I actually left a couple of real estate deals on the table and put my license on the shelf in pursuing trading, mm-hmm. which is wild. So I literally quit my job, put all the money that I was making to the side, and sidelined it because I was really under this impression that I could just jump right into trading and
hit it off,
hit a 6-figure income right off the rip,
like that.
And it's not true. And I really hope that whoever's listening to this, I'm not, it's not falling on deaf ears. I'm
yeah.
finding people before they make that decision.
Yeah.
I really truly pray that. But yeah, I had a pretty tough run of it. Several different runs where I was they say life is peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Mine was like a saw blade, up down, up down, up down, up down, right? All in succession.
Yeah.
Where it was
no
my
growth.
Life was not stable. I was having not financially, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was growing as a person, and it was I guess making me better. But I would never advise anybody to do that.
Yeah.
Just put everything on the line and just bury yourself trying to figure it out. I guess to elaborate more on it, that was 2018 and in the beginning of 2019, even going towards the end of 2019, I had like a lot of ups and downs, drastic ups and downs with trading. And the part that I actually found some stability and some peace in mind of like when I was learning is when I actually made it in, not even in trading, but in business, to a level of income where I felt even comfortable enough to trade. And it's like, you should never have to do that. You know what I mean? Like you should like what Rob was saying is you should be already comfortable with the amount of money that's coming in, whether you're working, whatever the case is, if you have a pre-existing business. And you should never put yourself under that financial pressure of like, I gotta make trading work. You should feel like you get to make trading work. So in the next part, what we're gonna talk about is not quitting because of these certain reasons that we're gonna give you. And if you're presented with these reasons to like quit your job, stop your business, whatever the case is, and go all in trading, these are red flags where you should not be doing it. And the first one is if whoever is like mentoring you, leading you, whatever the case is, tells you, hey, look, you should quit your job and you should go all in on this, or you should stop your business and you should go all in on this. If you have not met the financial requirements in your life to just quit and go all in, you should not do it. Like you should not listen to them, and it should be a red flag that they're even telling you that.
Now I want to tell you guys the second red flag is you have a vision of working from home as soon as you learn about trading. So you're like, oh man, you could work from home and do all of this? Like, bro, you don't go figure out that like you can make millions of dollars in basketball and then you quit your job and then you're on the courts every single day. Like, bro, that doesn't work. Like, bro, you're not gonna become an all-star like
tomorrow
in like 2 months or 3 months. It may even take you years. There's Michael Jordan had to start playing since he was in high school.
The first of the month comes around and you're like, yo, why am I not signed yet?
Exactly. Like, bro, this is gonna take time.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's time to dedicate to your craft and everything, but how Jared relating back to like the first red flag, going all in trading, that's not how it is. In trading, you do not go like all in, because this is like very much a financial realm and a psychological realm that you're getting into that you probably have never experienced before in your life. Not everybody in the world is traders, and not everyone in the world is meant to be traders at the end of the day. So the third red flag is gonna be what? You get funded and you don't have a reserve. Happened to me. 100% I could speak from reality and what I figured. I passed my funding firm challenge and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. People have told me like, once you pass, like you're good and you're flowing. Not the case. Just because 1 month you had like a good 10%, which majority of all funding firms are 10% challenges, and then 5% in the next month. Just because you think you had that and like you think you could do it all over and over and again. And trading will humble you real quick. You can do it again. I'm not discouraging that you can't, but in trading, it's not guaranteed. There's great traders that have break-even months, that have negative months, literally, and every different angle. You have to build and cushion your account to have like maybe 10% in profit, because if you like take all the money that you just made in that 1 month and take it off, you're starting from zero again. You're starting at your baseline. So that means if you start off bad, like you have like negative 4% in drawdown in like the second week into the month, like you're gonna be like, oh man, where am I? As opposed if you had a cushion and you're 4% down, you still have more percentage to go. Like you literally have to lose like 20 trades in a row, because imagine you have a 10% cushion from your baseline and then 10% drawdown that you're allowed, so you have to lose 20 trades in a row. How much harder can that really be?
Statistically, it's not even very likely.
Like, and this is a probability game. You should know the fact that like you're gonna play your edge and see where you land. You could be 5% in drawdown and get that 5-1 and then be back in the game. Or even that 3-1 and then be back in the game. But guess what? You're already in profit. So you don't need to like really stress anything. You shouldn't be stressing anything anyways. It's not your money. And if you have a reserve and you have a cushion, and like Jared said in the beginning, the biggest nugget, if you have money put aside and you have money from other endeavors, you'll be a lot better. And that's another video that we're going to talk about in the future, about that you should have another pursuit, or you should have another hobby that funds you also as well, other than trading. because trading income is not the most consistent income in the world, just like I was talking about.
Right, 100%. And to really tie everything together, just a point that I want to make is I've been speaking on it for a while now, like between me and you, and I feel like I need to share it, is like when you are thinking as a trader, your whole mindset, like your whole paradigm is like completely different from like what you're taught growing up. And I know you're probably like, this is like cliche, whatever, like you hear that all the time in business, but it's really not the case because there's a lot of other businesses where what I'm about to say applies. And with trading, you are specifically risking only money to have like time freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And in working, in self-employment, and even some other businesses, you are exchanging that time freedom to make money. Mm-hmm. On whatever level, on a working level, on a self-employed level, where you're still getting, even if you're self-employed and you're doing it on your own, you're still getting paid for what you're physically doing. There's even some businesses where I know personally, like business owners who can't even get out of their own business and they're still getting paid for their time, right? Yeah. Within their business. And it's really truly one of the only things where it's like, you have to learn how to accept that you are risking money to be free, right? To have time freedom. Yeah. And the reason why like something like this is like so important to be said in a video like this is because just because, hey, I told you about trading and you're like, yo, I want to quit my job, you're not gonna learn that mindset. You're not gonna have that identity shift and that mindset shift for a while. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said with the whole basketball example, like you're just gonna pick up a basketball and all of a sudden you're gonna be, NBA All-Star team, right? It's not likely. And it's like, you need this like gestation period of like a lot of growth is happening to develop you into like, okay, I can truly accept that every single day that I trade, I'm risking part of my money to gain more money to keep the life that I have.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the hardest part about trading is? Everybody thinks the hardest part about trading at first is like, oh man, I have to learn this technical analysis. I have to learn what support resistance is, liquidity, order blocks, so many different types of strategies and everything. Bro, if that were the case, wouldn't everybody be millionaires? What is the biggest thing? Psychology.
Yeah.
It's hard to unlearn a set of beliefs and then learn a new set of beliefs when you are 19 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, 30, 40, 50, right. 60. It's not easy. Right. You have to rewire. You're like, oh, I worked all this time for money and I maybe built a 6-figure income at my job. And then I just realized I'm not free. And then you look at trading, you're like, you look at the possibilities and it's great. You see a vision. You see you being somewhere. You're like, I could trade and I could work from everywhere in the whole world. But this is not how it is.
Right. But on the flip side, you have to risk what you already have.
Exactly.
To get there.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to use the money.
Yeah.
And in hopes that you're gonna make more. And then you have to accept the fact that it's random.
Right.
You can't go into the work, clock in, and be like, I know what I'm gonna get. You don't know what you're gonna get. And guess what Jared said? You have to accept the risk. Because you cannot think in probabilities if you do not accept the risk.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to think that like in 1 to 5 trades, you'll be profitable, 1 to like 10 trades, you'll be profitable if you don't accept each risk as going along. It's like if it's a 1,000%, $1,000 risk, 1% risk.
Yeah.
How are you gonna be like, how does this work? How does that work? Like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with risking it. It's like, well, if you play your edge, yeah, you'll get there. And if you're not like in the trading space involved already, like what I'm saying to you might be like, what is this guy talking about? You know what? Go read Trading in the Zone. Go listen to our trading psychology course. Go listen to our previous videos. Why? Because once you get more clarity on what we talk about, because this is what we live, yeah, you'll know what we're talking about. At the end of the day, like we want to make everything simple for you guys, but we're also not gonna put this on a platter and be like, here you guys go. Right. You guys got to do research also as well. You guys got to get in the game. You got to have experience in the game. Jared, if I just told you, bro, hey, go figure this out. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna risk 1% and everything, and in 1 to 20 trades, you're gonna be profitable. It sounds easy, right?
Right.
But it's not. it's the farthest thing from easy. So if it were that easy, when a mentor tells you this, you would have results, but it's not. Guess what? Why? Because you have emotions, you have feelings, you have things that you feel when you risk something. You're risking $1,000 when $1,000 is what you make every 2 weeks, maybe a week, maybe every 5 days, depending what your lifestyle is, maybe a month.
Right.
So how do you expect to like change all these things?
Right.
And for us to close, I want to say a couple key points that we stated to you. Don't go full-time trading until you have a year's full of expenses and maybe more additionally to actually invest and be able to lose money and gain the experience, because experience is really going to teach you how to accept risks, how to accept random probabilities. Journaling is going to do that for you as well too. Second thing, don't go full-time trading until you accept the risk, accept that you're actually going to lose money. We didn't mention that, but that's very powerful at the end of the day. And I'm going to hand it over to Jared so he could give you the last two.
Before I even get into that, the one thing that I just want to say to give you some like light to look forward to is like, if you don't have your nest egg saved yet, whatever your reserve is, what you can look forward to is practicing, is demo trading, is paper trading. And it's like, you get to work out the kinks in your mind and in your strategy on something that's not real. So you should be like, just because you're hearing this and you're like, oh man, like I don't have a year's worth of my expenses saved. These guys are telling me not to trade. I gotta sit and it's gonna be this drag. It's like, this should be the most exciting thing that you've heard, because you get to practice for free while you're saving money.
There you go.
Literally, like free practice.
It's like shooting shots at the basketball court.
Right, to get to a point where you're financially at a point where you're like, wow, like I feel great about my financial situation. I feel bulletproof for the next 365 days. Let me go live. Let me try getting funded, whatever the case is. So I feel like that's like incredibly critical dimension. And the other things about like not going full time until, if someone who's not credible tells you to get out of a position that you're currently in, or if you're not safe to where you are and somebody's trying to influence you, hey, look, get you to feel this emotion of like, man, I get to work from home, I get to do this, get to do that. And the last one being, you're at a point where it's like, you're just hearing about trading and you catch this vision, especially in 2021, where it's like, it was a big thing in 2020 of like working from home. And you're like, man, I can just go do that tomorrow. I can just go trade from my house tomorrow.
Exactly. And with that being said, guys, we hope you got like a lot of value from this. We even talked about more things that we actually intended to. But with that being said, go take that back, go research, go look at our other videos, go to our trading psychology course. We have other new things up and coming in the future. We really believe that we're changing the trading space, as in we're emphasizing the psychological aspect of it, because this is around, guys, 100% is it around, but it's not emphasized. Like I said, this is not the easiest thing in the world. That's why we're going into it.
Right.
It's not the technicals, it is the psychological aspect of it. Bro, you could teach a monkey to read support and resistance.
Yeah.
You could give that in high school, and they could literally...
You could teach that in middle school. Right?
Exactly, and they'll get it. And there's testimonies of younger kids actually being good at trading. But it's like psychological. And why are they good at trading? Because they're instilled with beliefs when they're younger. And guess what? If they've been trading for 5 years, if they start at 15 and then they're 20, they already have like 5 years worth of experience.
Right.
And then now they can actually have a bank account.
Right.
So that's simple, guys. So like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you thought, and we will see you guys next week.
Appreciate you guys.